Good evening, family. How is everybody doing on this lovely Friday? I believe they were saying that here in VA, the weather was supposed to be dreary, but it turned out to be a really nice sunny day. So, what a wonderful way to end week 10 with you guys. That is 10 whole weeks. As I keep telling you guys, somehow I have turned into the count from Sesame Street 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That is 10 weeks of literacy, community, culture, and just a wonderful, wonderful time that we are having with each other here, making sure that learning continues even during quarantine or at stepping out of quarantine, whatever the situation is. We are doing the literacy thing here, culturally affirming literature. And as you see, I have three lovely faces with me tonight. It just grows and grows, all the people on the screen that you guys get to see and get to know. If you've been tuning in regularly, then you definitely know the man on the other side of me. That is the one and only Mr. Rodney Jordan. And then we have two of our Virtual Village 2020 influencers. And yes, if you've been tuning in, then you know that they are all the way live. They are on fire. They are bringing the heat every Wednesday. So let me see. How are you guys doing today? Let's throw in Mr. Jordan. How's your day going?
It's been a great day. Pretty relaxing, although I've done a lot of house chores today. Got out a couple of times and enjoyed the warm weather, but just so happy once again to be here with the literacy game to close out, as you said, week 10 and open up a nice little 3-day weekend. So good to see you as always, and good to see our influencers as always.
Wonderful, wonderful. So down here we have ladies first. Who is this beautiful face down here?
Hey, I'm Kalia, and I'm a virtual village influencer, and my day has been busy, but very, very good, just filling out scholarships and applying for housing and stuff like that. But overall, just very good.
Excellent. We are so proud of you. And then who is this young man down here?
How you guys doing? You've seen me before. I'm Jaimir. I'm the virtual villager. I'm a virtual village influencer and also captain of the best team in the village. Beyond the book. And you had your turn to talk. You had your turn, and I'm just really excited to be here tonight. The day's been pretty fairly easy for me, just getting through work and just trying to finish school strong. But it's been good.
Excellent, excellent. Well, we have a wonderful lineup tonight, and but before we go any further, we got to take care of the business first. So let me handle that BI.
Look, mommy, community in action. But oh my, let us down to that. Look, daddy, there's a book for me too. But oh my, let us down to that. Creative, affirming, and culture for me too. Look, granny, and let us down to that. Look, granny, and let us down to that. Look, granny, and let us down to that. Learning and exploring about history, you see. Look, mommy, and let us down to that. We confident, we practice and develop fluency. Look, daddy, and let us down to that. Families, they bond and they representing me. Look, granny, and let us down to that. Look, auntie, and let us down to that. Nice, I see, let us down to that.
So reliable, culturally relevant. Sit back and listen to the wisdom while we represent. So reliable, culturally relevant. Readers to leaders, they hold it down where they have to sit. So reliable, culturally relevant. Sit back and listen to the wisdom while you represent. So reliable, culturally relevant. Readers to leaders, they hold it down, yeah, they have to sit.
Look, mommy, community in action. Well, oh my, let us down to that. Look, daddy, there's a book for me too. Well, oh my, let us down to that. Creative, affirming, culture for me too. Look, granny, let us down to that.
As always, forever, ever loving the sound of that.
Yes, indeed.
That theme song is just music to our ears, and it is actually my ringtone now, so can't get enough of it. I'm going to go over here and grab some of these comments because the villagers always lift us up. So let's see who we have here. We have baby girl Shania. She says, hello. Hello, sweetie. We enjoyed your reading last night as always. Always great to see you here. And then we have Joe Angela Walden. Hey, clever family. Hey, sis, so glad to see you here. Thanks for the wonderful energy. And then we have Bridget. Yes, everybody knows Miss Bridget. She said, hey, village, hashtag literacy gang. And then we have Lakeisha over there on YouTube. She said, hi, Lakeisha. Glad to see you. And then, of course, some reiteration of the beauty of our theme song. I love the sound of that. Oh, more comments popped up. I thought I was about done. Eric James, praise the Lord. People are excited to see us. I'm sure it's about these influencers right here, and we appreciate that. We have Let's see. Taylor Paul says, "Peace, y'all," and just some more wonderful comments about the song. So we are glad to have you all here again on this wonderful, wonderful Friday. So, influencers, you guys had y'all debuted your second teen takeover this past Wednesday. Tell us a little bit about that. Like, how are y'all, the lead up and post debut and all that? Just tell us some things.
So, the lead up to that topic was that we felt like, of course, with the climate of everything and everything that's been going on, especially with the story of Ahmaud Arbery, who was gunned down for jogging. Thank you. Who was gunned down for jogging. We just felt like it was something that needed to be addressed. It was something that's always constantly on all of our minds, and it was persistent. So we felt like it was something that needed to be addressed. So we decided to make it the forefront of our topic for last Wednesday. And we gathered some amazing poets who kind of spearheaded some of the topics that we were going to talk about. And we just went from there.
And it was amazing. It was it's hard to find the right adjective to describe what we witnessed this past Wednesday. Jamir, what did you want to add?
What Kalia failed to mention is where most of those poets came from, but I will. Howard University, and the poetry was really something that we wanted to touch on because this is the literacy gang, and the goal is culturally affirming literature. So we wanted to make sure that while we were discussing these topics, we wanted people to know that it was acceptable to be Black and it's okay and it's encouraged to love your skin. And that's what a lot of the poets brought, but they also brought that vulnerability with it, which is something we wanted to express as well, is that it's okay to be in your own skin and to be vulnerable because being Black is to be vulnerable. So that's basically what like the lead up to it was.
Well, I mean, Barney, why are we here?
I tried to take the night off.
I really questioned my decision because I really, there was really no need for us to be here. As a matter of fact,
we're not gonna do that.
No, I already told them to be prepared. I'm not leaving, but I'm gonna take us off and I'm gonna let them do their thing. Okay.
Well, before you do that, I just I'm a great supporter of all HBCUs, but all this Howard stuff that keeps hanging out there. I'm just not gonna let that stuff hang out there. So
that's Mr. Jordan. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I appreciate these young people who are going to be continuing their career at Howard University, but at some other HBCUs, we just see being Black as a power base. We don't necessarily see vulnerability in it. So that's my little jab for the night. Now you can take me on out.
Let me ask I'm gonna go ahead and take us on out of here, and I'm gonna let her handle this because I don't you guys don't really need us. We may come back a little later, okay, but I think you guys can handle this, okay?
If you take me out, I'm not coming. No, I'm just teasing. Go ahead.
I mean, it's free will.
I'm just messing. Look, I enjoy being here. I'm teasing with our influencers. They know I tease like that all the time because they are so brilliant and so intelligent and bring so much to the table. And I'm so proud of them and I'm so much in awe of them that I know I can play and tease with them the same way that my parents would tease with me because it was all in a spirit of love and it was to challenge your thinking. And so our influencers are challenged the thinking of their peers and challenge the thinkings of so many that I enjoy being able to challenge their thinking because not only do I know that they can handle it, I know they're going to come back with something even more powerful as a result.
Okay. Well, I tease back as well. So we're going to remove Mr. Jordan. And we're going to remove me as well. And you guys, you take it from here, okay?
All right. So as we said, we are Virtual Village influencers. I'm Kalia and
I'm Jamir.
Yes, so we're just going to get right into it. Our first reader, I call dibs on calling that reader up. So bye, Jamir. So our first reader, My first reader is young. He's young like I'm young. He is a high school senior, just like me, class of 2020. He is going to be attending an HBCU, the illustrious Howard University. This is going to be the only time you hear me say something as crazy as that. But he will be attending the illustrious Howard University. He's very articulate, very talented, and it's going to be a pleasure to have him up here. So I'm going to bring up our first reader.
So you gonna kick me off just to hype me
Yeah.
back on and bring me back
Yeah,
on?
I had to hype you up. You know what I'm saying? I had to get center stage to hype you up. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So, Jamir, what will you be reading for us today?
Oh man, the lovely book I will be reading is written by Mr. Derek Barnes and illustrated by a Gordon C. James. And the book is called Crown, an Ode to the Fresh Cut. Wait.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, I can't wait to hear it. I know that our virtual village can't wait to hear it. So I'm going to just go ahead, get off the screen. I'm going to let you have the floor.
Thank you. So, like I said, I'll be reading Crown, an Ode to the Fresh Cut. And it's really a book about affirming and love of your hair. Because as someone with dreads or dreadlocks, my hair means a lot to me. And hair is a big staple in the Black community as well. So this book right here is to let a lot of Black children know that it's okay to have that naughty 4C type dark hair, that little kinkiness. It's okay. And not only is it okay, but it's beautiful. And this is the ode to the fresh cut. So let's get into it. All right, here we go here. So when it's your turn in the chair, you stand at attention and forget about who you were when you walked through that door. Man, there we go there. Might have to switch it up a little bit. Okay. You came in as a lump of clay, a blank canvas, a slab of marble. But when my man is done with you, they'll want to post you up in a museum. That's my word. He'll drape you like royalty with that cape to keep the fine hairs off of your neck and your princely robes. It's amazing what a tight fade, high, low, bald, does for your confidence. Dark Caesar. There we go right there. Who knows? You might just smash that geography exam tomorrow and rearrange the entire principal's honor roll. A fresh cut does something to your brain, right? It hooks up your intellectual. You're a star, a brilliant, blazing star. Not the kind that you'll find on a sidewalk in Hollywood. Nope. They're going to have to wear shades when they look up to catch your shine. Now, this is like beautiful illustration, man. This is beautiful. He'll lean you back in the chair, dab that cool shaving cream on your forehead, and then craft a flawless line with that razor. Slow, steady, surgical. It frames your swagger. The cute girl in the class across the way won't be able to keep her pretty eyes off of you. Her friends will giggle and whisper, "Girl, he's so fine." Yeah, that's what they'll say. You can bring me back. The whole school will be seasick from the rows and rows of ripples. You'll have more waves on your head than the Atlantic Ocean. Shout out to my do-rag and patience. Man. There's a dude to the left of you with a faux hawk, deep part, skin fade. He looks presidential. Maybe he's the CEO of a tech company that manufactures cool. He's a boss. That's how important he looks. Dude to the right of you looks majestic. There are thousands of black angels waiting to guide and protect him as soon as he steps a foot out that door. That's how important he looks. Just really trying to, like, the art style is crazy on this, man. There's a dude standing in the mirror that can't get over the masterful designs crafted on the side of his dome. Everywhere he goes, people will ask him for his autograph. He looks that fresh. He looks like he owns a few acres of land on Saturn. Maybe there's a river named after him on Mars. He looks that important. I don't know about y'all, but you know how important you got to be to own acres of land on Saturn. That's something. That's something. There are two dudes, one with locks, the other with cornrows, and a lady with a butterscotch complexion. And all they want is a shape up, tapered sides, a trim, and a crisp but subtle line. And sometimes in life, that's all you ever need, a crisp but subtle line. So this page was for me. This page was for me. When your barber is done, you'll feel like $1 million and some change. When his fingertips hit you with that apple green alcohol or that witch hazel, it'll sting, but not like a scorpion or a hornet, more like an electric stamp of approval. And when you see the cut yourself in that handheld mirror, you'll smile a really big smile. That's the you that you love the most. That's the you that wins everything. That's the gold medal you. Every person in the shop will rise to their feet and give you a round of applause for being so fly. Not really, but they'll look like they want to. You'll see it in their eyes. Everybody feels like a champ for the moment that little cape come off you and the hair hit the floor and you stand up. You be feeling on 10. You be feeling on 10. It's the look your English teacher gives you when she hands you your last test with a bright red 97 slapped on it. It's how your mother looks at you before she calls you beautiful. Flowers are beautiful. Sunrises are beautiful. Being viewed in your mother's eyes is someone that matters. Now that's beautiful. And you will take it. You don't mind it at all. That's that motherly love, man. That's beautiful. Finally, he'll remove your cape, then swipe you down with a brush made from a golden horsetail. It's probably the most satisfying moment getting out the chair. You will put the money in his hand without even expecting change, man. Tip that man. Tip that man. It was worth it. It always is. Always is. Remember to tip your barbers, people. Remember to tip your barbers. And there we go. You know why? Because you'll leave out of the shop every single time feeling the exact same way. Magnificent, flawless, like royalty. Hello, world. And there we go. And that was our trip to the barbershop.
All right. So I just want to commend you on the way you read that, because you put a lot of emotion and emphasis and made me feel like I've been to the barbershop and I've never been in there, never got my hair cut ever. But you made me feel like, oh my goodness, I need to get in the chair. I need to go ahead, get the thing tied around me. I like that. You really put us in there. But I can definitely relate, because when your hair is done, you feel like you are on top of the world. You feel like you are the best. So Jameer, how important is that story to you or to the younger kids who will read something like that?
So a little backstory about me is I ain't used to like going to the barbershop a lot. I didn't, no. Because like going to the barbershop felt like a waste of time. Clippers would bite me. I had to sit and I would move around a lot when I was a kid. So just having to sit down in a chair and have a dude do this to my head when I was like 4, I was not a fan of that. I was not. But as I got older and then just being around the other men in the barbershop and feeling that like sense of love and community, like the barbershop is a safe haven. It is a safe haven. And being around that as like a kid and like finally understanding, like just not even being in the chair, but in the shop, like waiting for it and listening to them talk and learning from your elders, that was important. And this story is important because it glamorizes every aspect of it. And then you can see the various types of hairstyles that Black people have, which is just truly like, it's crazy what our hair can do. And it's kind of bittersweet reading this because with quarantine going on, I haven't seen my barber in a minute. And you can tell I haven't seen my barber in a minute. And it's making me miss my mans a little bit because I need a crisp, subtle line right now. I really do. So I would definitely say this book right here is truly beautiful, and it glamorizes the barbershop for what it is, as a safe haven for young Black people, but as a training ground for Black manhood, definitely.
I love that. I love that. And like you said, our hair can do such amazing things. It defies gravity. It can take on any shape or form, and we shall all be appreciative and love the curls that come out of our head. We shall all be appreciative of all the styles that can become of our head. And so, without further ado, I'm going to let my partner do the honors of introducing our next guest. She is a powerhouse, and you have the floor.
See, I don't know why you just sold that woman short like that. A powerhouse is an understatement. This woman is a whole army, a military. This is a woman who is truly a blessing to the community and to the world. Not only is she an educator for decades, not only is she an advocate for civil rights and humanity, not only is she just pushing the needle at every instance, she's an author, a mother, and a publisher. And right now, we're about to bring her on. You already know her because she's been on multiple times as well. This is a fan favorite for the Literacy Gang, and I know for myself, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Bridget Jackson.
Hey,
how you doing, Miss Jackson?
I'm good. I'm like Star tonight. I need the tissue after you said all of that. I'm like, he's talking about me?
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
But I gotta ruffle your feathers.
Mm.
Y'all talking about y'all HBCU said?
Hey, another HBCU representative.
Yes, I am a parent HBCU, so I'm a proud alum parent.
Man, we love to see it. We love to see it, Ms. Jackson. And we appreciate you being on the show with us tonight. We really do appreciate that. And Ms. Jackson, what do you have in store for us?
Oh, tonight I'm going to read Thunder Rose.
Thunder Rose.
Thunder Rose. And reason why I wanted to read this really was more the illustrations than the reading. Kadir Nelson is just one of my favorite illustrators. And oh my God, the illustrations in this book is just beautiful. They tell a story all by themselves.
I believe it. I believe it. Well, Ms. Jackson, we're going to let you get into Thunder Rose real quick. And
all right.
So I'm going to skedaddle, okay?
Okay. I see you on the back end.
All right.
All righty. Well, Jameer loves history. And so this is really, really cute. It's a folklore. And it's called Thunder Rose. It's by Geraldine Nolan. And again, it's illustrated by Kadir Nelson. We're going to go ahead and get started with it because it's a little lengthy, but it's so cute. So listen. Rose was the first child born free and easy to Jackson and Millicent Magruder. I recall most vividly the night she came into the world, hailing rain, flashing lightning, and booming thunder pounding the door, inviting themselves in for a blessed event. Taking her first breath of life, the infant did not cry out. Rather, she sat up and looked around. She took a hold of that lightning, rolled it into a ball, set it above her shoulders while the thunder echoed out over the other. And they say this is accentuated the fact that the child had the power of thunder and lightning coursing through her veins. She's going to grow up to be good and strong. All right, Doc Holliday said. The child turned to the good doctor with a thoughtful glance and replied, I reckon I will want to do more than that. Thank you very kindly. Shifting her gaze to the two loving lights shining on her, which were her maw and paw, she remarked, much obliged to you both for this chance to make my way in the world. Then she announced to no one in particular, I am right partial to the name Rose. You just see the beautiful illustrations, especially that one, the lightning in her hand. So much in love with the gift of their lives, her ma and pa hovered over her in watchful splendor. Overcome with the love, they filled their voices in song, old song, and a melody so sweet and true. A lullaby passed down from the ages, echoing since the beginning of time. There is a music ringing so sweetly in my ears, the newborn exclaimed. It's giving me a fortune feeling, rumbling deep in the pit of me. I register it here at the bullseye set in the center of my heart and see what I can do with it one day. Rose snored up plenty of first night breathing on her own, rattling the rafters on the roof right along with the booming thunder. There was nothing quiet about her slumber. She seemed determined to be just as forceful as that storm. With the thunder and lightning keeping watch over the rest of the night, her ma and pa just took to calling her Thunder Rose. The next morning, when the sun was high yellow in the billowy blue sky, Rose woke up hungry as a bear in the spring, but not the least bit ornery. Minding her manners, she politely thanked her ma for the milk, but it was not enough to quench her hungry thirst. Rose preferred instead to drink her milk straight from the cow. Her ma was right grateful to have such a resourceful child. No other newborn had utter strength to lift a whole cow clear over her head and almost drink it dry. In a moment's time, Rose did, and quite daintily so. She was as pretty as a picture, but the sweetest disposition. But don't let yourself be misled. That child was full of lightning and thunder. Out on the paper bag, brown, dusty, dry, wide open space, Rose often was found humming a sweet tune as she did her chores. And true to her word, Rose did more than grow good and strong. The 2-year-old became quite curious about the pile of scrap iron lying next to the barn. Rose took a good sized piece, stretched it here, bent it and twisted there. She constructed a thunderbolt as black as pitch and punctuate her name. She called it coal. Wherever she went, Cole was always by her side. Noticing how skilled Rose was with the metal, her ma and pa made sure there was extra supply of it always around. At the age of 5, Rose did a commendable job of stacking the fence without a bit of help. During her 8th and 9th year, Rose assembled some iron beams together with the wood blocks she used to play with and constructed a building tall enough to scrape the sky, always humming as she worked. By the time she turned 12, Rose had perfected her metal bending practices. She formed delicately shaped alphabet letters to help the young ones learn to read. For this birthday, Rose presented her pa with a branding iron, a circle with a big Mac, M-A-C, for Magruder in the middle, just in time, too, because a herd of quick-tempered longhorn steel stampeded its way up the Rio Grande. They were plowing a straight path toward her front door. Rose performed the eye-catching wonders, and likes of which was something to see. Rolling lightning fast towards the herd, using Cole for support, Rose bolted into the air and landed on the back of the biggest lead steer like he was a merry-go-round pony. Grabbing a horn in each hand, Rose twisted the varmint to complete halt. It was just enough to restrain that top bull and the rest of the herd. But I believe what touched the critter's heart was when Rose began humming her tune. That cantankerous ton of beef was restless no more. He became a playful as a kitten and tried to purr. Rose named him Tater on account that his favorite vegetable. Hearing Rose's lullaby put that considerable creature to sleep was the sweetest thing I had witnessed in a long, long time. After the dust had settled, Ma and Pa counted 27 herds of cattle. And after that, they added in 500 that they already had. Using sharp iron, Rose had to add a new section to the bullpen and to hold them all in. What did you do to the wire, Rose? Ma asked, surprised and pleased by her daughter's latest creation. Oh, that, she said. While I was staking the fence, Pa asked me to keep little Barbara J company. That little twisty pattern seemed to make the baby laugh, so I like to think of it as Barbara's wire. That was right clever you to be so entertaining to the little one like that, her mom said. Rose just blushed. Over the years, that twisty wire caught on, and folks just called it barbed wire. Rose and her pa spent the whole next day sorting the animals that had not been branded. One day soon, before the cold weather gets in, she told her pa, I'll have to get this herd up the Chisholm Trail and to the market of Abilene. I suspect Tater is the right kind of horse for that long drive northward. That's her horse, Tater. On Rose's field trip to Abilene, while right outside of Caldwell, that Episcopal full of outrage and ire outlaw Jesse Baines and his band of desperados tried to rustle that herd away from Rose. Using the spare metal rods she always carried with her, Rose lassoed those hot timber hooligans up good and tight. She dropped them off in jail, tied them up in a nice, neat iron bow. It wasn't any trouble at all, she told Sheriff Weaver. Somebody had to stop their thieving ways. But that wasn't the only thieving going on. The mighty sun was draining the moisture out of every living thing it touched. Even rocks were crying out. Those clouds stood by and watched it all happen. They weren't even trying to be helpful. Why? The air had turned so dry and sour. Time seemed but to stand still, and there was not a drop of water in sight. Steer will not move without water, and that was making those bulls mad. And when the bulls get angry, it's like a disease that's catching, making the rest of the herd mad too. Tater was looking parched and mighty thirsty. I've got to do something about this, Rose declared, stretching out several iron rods, lasso fashion, then launching coal high in the air. Rose hoped she could get the heavens to yield forth. She caught a hold of a mass of clouds, squeezed them hard, all the while humming her song. Gentle rain began to fall. But anybody looking could see that there was not enough moisture to refresh 2 ants, let alone a herd of wild cows. Suddenly, a rotating column of air came whirling and swirling and picking up everything in its path. It sneaked up on Rose. Whoa there now, just hold a minute. Rose called out to the storm. Tater was helpless to do anything about the sort of wind. Those meddlesome clouds caused it. They didn't take kindly to someone telling them what to do, and they were set on creating a riotous rampage all on their own. Oh, this riled Rose so much she became the only 2-legged tempest to walk the Western Plains. You don't know who you fooling with, Rose called out to the storm. Her eyes flashed lightning. She bit down and gnashed thunder from her teeth. I don't know why anyone would want to mess with a pretty young woman who had the power of thunder and lightning coursing through her veins. But pity for them, the clouds did. Rose reached in her iron rod, but there was only one piece left. She did not know which way to turn. She knew coal alone was not enough to do the job right. Unarmed against her own growing thirst, the might of the elements, Rose felt weighted down. Then that churning column split. Now there was 2. They were coming at her from opposite directions. Rose had some fast thinking to do. Never being one to bow down under pressure, she considered her options, for she was not sure how this would all come to end. Look at that beautiful picture illustration. In the fork in the road with which I have to final supper. Will this be my first and last ride at the roundup? She queried herself in the depths of her heart. Her contemplations brought her little relief as she witnessed the merciless and catastrophic efforts of the windstorm bent on their disaster. Then the winds joined hands and cranked and churned a path leading straight towards her. Calmly, Rose spoke out loud to the storm as she stood alone to face the wreck and ruin and multiplying devastation. I could ride at least one of you out to the end of time, but I've got this fortune feeling rumbling deep in the pit of me, and I see what I'm about to do with this day, Rose said, smiling. The winds belted at rumbling pitch. Rose squarely faced that storm. Come and join me, wind. She opened her arms wide as if to embrace the torrent. She opened her mouth as if she was planning to take a long, good drink. But from the depth inside her, she heard a melody so sweet and true. And when she lifted her heart, she unleashed her song of thunder. It was a sight to see. Rose was making thunder and lightning rise and fall to the ground at her command, at the sound of her song. Oh, how her voice rang out, so clear, real, and true. It rang from the mountaintops. It filled the valleys, and it flowed like a healing river in the breathtaking air around her. Those tornadoes, calmed by her song, stomped their churning masses and raged no more. And gently as a baby's breath, a soft drenching and soaking rain fell. And Rose realized that by reaching into her own heart to bring forth the music that was there, she had even touched the hearts of the clouds. The stories of Rose's amazing ability spread like fire, and sure as thunder follows lightning and the sun follows rain, whenever you see a spark of light across the heavy, still, gray sky, listen to the sound of the thunder and think of Thunder Rose and her song, that mighty, mighty song pressing on the bullseye that was set at the center of her heart. And that's Thunder Rose. The last page has another illustration. Thunder
Okay,
Rose.
I personally love that story. That story was something that I've never seen before. A young black superhero, but like a Western theme to it. I've never seen a story like that before. So I love that story. A question. What made you pick that story to read to us tonight?
You just said it, Kalia. I did it because a lot of times we don't see females as the heroines. And again, a folklore like this coming back. Jameer, you can kind of, fill me on this. One of the things that I love as an educator, I love history lessons. When I first started teaching, or even when I was in school, I hated social studies. I love it now. And when we understand historical context and that kind of stuff, we can understand our future. And so I just wanted to read this again. It's a folklore. It's not true, but it gave female power.
Yes, I loved everything about that story. I love Rose's tenacity. I loved her ability to always come up with something creative. It was like she invented so many things that we still use today. It was so empowering. It was such an enlightening story and showed that representation matters, that any Black girl is able to do anything they put their mind to. Yes. So thank you for that, Miss Bridget. Thank you. We love hearing you read as always. So we just going to pop you off real quick. Thank you. Jameer, how did you feel about that story?
I mean, the story, the thing about the story that got me is the fact that it shows just how powerful that black women and black girls are from the jump. You know what I mean? Because Rose came out with the lightning, and then she just kept going with it. Like she continued to bring that energy. And the thing that I liked about it is that it just shows black women in a sense that you have that power and you have that strength in you from the moment that you are born. And that's what I really enjoyed about the message. And seeing is it's not a traditional role. We're thinking of like a black cowgirl, but it makes sense. It makes sense. And just to see her be powerful, to see her be witty, see her be passionate, just to conquer the clouds, man. That's truly that's what I really liked about it. Like it, and the illustrations blew me away as well. And just you like everything about it, so it's hard trying to verbalize it because it was just that good. But I enjoyed the story.
Yes, so I agree. I agree. Gary Nelson always goes crazy with the illustrations. So we got one more reader tonight, and this one kind of just feeds directly into what we just read about, which is that beautiful young black girl Magic. So we're just going to introduce her real quick. We're just going to introduce her real quick. We have a powerful young reader coming up next. We have a rising youngster. She's young compared to me. She is an eighth grader.
Eighth.
And not only is she an eighth grader, eighth, only an eighth grader, she has an interesting hobby that most adults can't even do. She loves to bake. And not only does she love to bake, she wants to share her talents with the rest of us. She is going to be starting a baking channel soon. So we are going to be on the lookout for this young black woman starting a baking channel. So without further ado, we're going to bring up our next breeder, the beautiful, the talented Zuri.
How you doing?
Hey Zuri, how are you? How are you?
You muted.
You're muted.
Wow.
I'm good.
Hey Zuri.
Hi.
Hey. And not only is she just an eighth grader and wonderful and talented, she is a mini influencer. She is a mini influencer in the making. So Zuri, how do you feel?
I feel good.
You feel good? You ready to read to us?
Yes.
And what book will you be reading for us tonight?
It's called The Village of Round and Square Houses.
All right. So we are going to let you have the floor, let you have the spotlight. We're going to take ourselves off. And Zuri, you.
The Village of Round and Square Houses. It was not until I was almost full grown and left my village that I found out our village was like no other. For the men lived in square houses and the women in round ones. To me, this seemed like a natural order of things. But what is it like, you ask? I will tell you how it was and is for me. I grew up on my grandmother's farm in the village of Tos. That lies at the foot of Naka Mountain in the Babylonian hills of West Africa. We planted yams and corn and tobacco in the finest coffee grounds in the Cameroon. Our village was always happy and peaceful, a good place for any boy or girl to grow up. Every evening after a day of work in the fields, Uncle Nemo and Grandpa Oma came to our roundhouse for supper. We children would hurry to put on our lowest wooden stool for Grandpa Oma, where he was the eldest and the closer to the ancestor spirits. Then we would all unroll the grass mat for Uncle Domo, the next oldest, as we were always only proper and respectful. And there they would sit proudly in their bright robes. Grandpa Oma above, sitting on his stool, hands on knees, and Uncle Domo seated below. Then they would ask to see the children. One by one, we would come forward from the narrow doorway, and one by one, we would be lifted to sit upon those high and holy knees. And Grandpa would ask each one of us, "What have you learned today?" We would squirm and make an answer, and wriggle off those sharp knees, and run to help Mama and Grandma Tika prepare the meal to come. Supper might be fish or rabbit or brown neck stew or yams. But always I would be the one to pound and soften the white or sour milk to make the fufu eat every meal. Then Mama would cook the fufu and beat it till it was white and fluffy. And she would pound the food into big holes with round handles just right for our small hands to hold. Then we would march into the big room, our bare feet gripping the earthen floor. The little ones went first, carrying the bowl of heated water and towels to wash the hands before and after eating. Then the older ones would carry the stew, spicy and steamy, smelling oh so good. And I would come in last bearing the fufu. Grandpa, as the eldest, would always eat first, dipping the first 3 fingers of one hand into the fufu, scooping up a small portion which he dipped quickly into the stew bowl. To flavor each bite with spicy meat and juices. Then in order of age, Grandma, Uncle Domo, and sometimes Mama, if she left the cook fire, would finish their meal in the same way. And we children would follow last, making sure to keep the bowl clean. After summer, when the wind went back to their square houses, and talking about farming and fishing in the old days of hunt, Grandpa would leave some tobacco for Grandma. I remember one night I sat beside her. Grandma Tika took a last puff of her pipe, then pointed it at the sky above our village. You see, old Mother Naka smoking so peacefully there? I learned way back and looked up to see old Naka's breath, rising in lacy puffs of smoke, soft and gray in the night sky. And you remember that sometimes in the night you hear old Naka snoring in her sleep? I nodded. Please, that Grandma thought I was old enough to notice such things. Well, it is by these signs that we know she is content. Now we live in peace, not in the spirits of our ancestors. But it was not always so. Grandma fixed me with a stare and began to rock with the tail. For she was the best storyteller in the whole village. In the days of long, long ago, the people of this village lived in houses of any sort, either square or round. It did not matter. So one peaceful night, before anyone alive remembers, old Naka began to groan and rumble and awoke from a long sleep. The villagers were frightened and ran out their houses and hid in the bushes at the foot of the mountain. A great wind came up, and the ancestral spirits in the trees cried out to warn them. Even the rocks began to tremble. Suddenly the black night was split open like a coconut, and great white bursts of light rose like the sun. Then the voice of our mother Naka thundered out over all. Boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. And the people cried out to Naka and prayed where they were lying down, hands pressing the earth, asking, what have we done to so anger you? A great wind came up, and the ancestor spirits in the trees cried out to warn them. It says that I'm muffled, so I'm
Zuri, you're doing a great job. We just wanted to see if you could check the mic so we could hear you. Do you have something covering it up?
No.
Now we can hear. See, these things are so strange. But you're doing a great job. We just wanted to be able to make sure we got this story clearly.
Okay, so you
Now
hear
we got it. We got it.
Okay.
Miss Star, for some reason, whenever we go off for one person, it sounds muffled in the beginning.
Okay. Well, she's doing great. We just want to be able to hear all that black girl magic. But however it goes, we're gonna push through. Okay, you're getting a lot of love in the comment section too. So make sure you check that out. Okay, Pumpkin.
Okay.
All right. Good job.
Awesome. Let me know what you do. Okay.
A great wind came up, and the ancestor spirits in the trees cried out to warn them. Even the rocks began to tremble. Suddenly, the black night was split open like a coconut, and great white bursts of light rose like the sun. Then the voice of our mother Naka thundered out over all. Ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. And the people cried out to Naka and prayed where they were lying down, hands pressing the earth, asking, "What have we done to so anger you?" All through the night, old Naka spoke to them, shouting her anger to the skies as red rivers of lava flowed down her sides. The morning sun rose, but no one could see him. The anger of Naka was too great, and ashes and smoke filled the air. Finally, no one remembers when Naka spoke no more. Slowly, carefully, the people lifted their heads and looked about. Everything was covered with ashes, even themselves. Everyone looked like a gray ghost. No one knew who stood next to them or who came behind. So they stood there, trembling with fear, but grateful to be alive. Naka had spared them. So covered with ashes, the men, women, and children faced the mountain together and went back to claim their homes. But when they came to the burned out village, only 2 houses were left standing, one square and one round. The people saw that only those 2 houses had been spared by Naka, and they wondered to themselves, why these? Was it a sign? But the village chief had no time for such questions, and he called them together. "We must begin to rebuild our village now." He pointed to the ash-covered people. "You, tall gray things, you go live in the square house. And you, round gray things, go live in the round house. And you, small gray things, over there, you go pick the small gray ones out of the field so we can plant our crops again." And so it was done. The woman lived in the roundhouse with the children, and the woman talked and laughed, preparing food for everyone. The men stayed in the square house and told each other tall stories and planted yams and corn each day in the new rich soil. And the children made a game out of cleaning the fields of small gray stones and went swimming and fishing in the long afternoons. And no one forgot to thank Naka for sparing their lives and giving them back such fine crops from her good earth. Grandma smiled down at me. And so you see, it has been to this day when the women had decided they enjoy getting together to talk and to laugh and to sing. And the men have become used to being together and relaxing in their own space. And the children, Osa, is it not true? The children still keep the fields clear of little gray stones. Yes, I laughed. And we still swim and play in the afternoon. But we bring home the fish we catch for supper. And we will all get together then. Grandma laughed too. So you see, Osa, we live together peacefully here because each one has a place to be apart and a time to be together. She shook me by the hand and turned back to the roundhouse. And that is how our way came about and will continue. Till Naka speaks again. The end.
Great job, Zuri. Great job. We love that. You are so articulate and you read so well. So, I got a question for you, Zuri. What was your favorite part about that book?
I liked how the part when they ended up dividing the houses, how the woman had the round houses, and then the men had the square houses, and how they enjoyed each other in each house.
And why did you like that part the most?
Because I just like how the leader, how he was able to accommodate each and every person in the house and separated so everybody could live peacefully together.
And what grade are you in again?
I'm in the 8th grade.
8th grade. Such knowledge and such analysis of what went on. I love that. So thank you, Zuri. Thank you so much for reading.
Wait. Before Zuri goes, I would just like to know a little bit about this bacon she got.
Yeah, Zuri. What is all this bacon about? I love food.
So I like to bake, and so I wanted to start a YouTube channel, and so I can get money from that too, and I can buy more supplies.
And what would your YouTube channel be called?
Zuri Bakes.
Zuri Bakes. So everybody be on the lookout real soon for Zuri Bakes.
Yes, and we just wanted to say that Zuri, you did a wonderful, wonderful job. You're a pro at this. And for everybody tuned in, if you don't know, Zuri is the younger sister of one of our influencers, Ayana, and her sister is showing her so much love in the comment section. All the support coming from her big sister. And you read great. That was a wonderful story. And why I say you're a pro. We know you're a great reader, but people who know how to push through those technical difficulties, that is awesome because you handled that like nothing. So we appreciate you being here. I know you have some things to say, Rodney.
Muted.
Okay. Technical delay, but I will get my baking goods. Don't worry about that.
You say he is going to get his baking goods from you. Well, listen, before you go, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So we have to take care of some formalities here, okay? So I want to let you know that you are officially a member of our literacy gang, okay? This is a gang that is founded on love of literature, culture, community, and an overall love for one another. So you are officially a part of this gang. You cannot escape this love. And anytime you want to come back up here and read or join us in the comment sections, you are welcome. You understand?
Yes.
Yes. So welcome to the literacy gang. Everybody give her a hand. Yes, we are so glad to have Miss Zuri. Zuri Bakes. Let us know when you drop that channel so we can all subscribe, and then we can come and grab some of those pastries up too.
I will.
Wonderful. Well, was there anything you wanted to share with us before you leave?
No, just thank you for allowing me to read.
Oh, so wonderful. Come back anytime you get ready to, okay? Think we got a little delay going on, but we around here, we persevere through those. But thank you so much, Zuri, and we look forward to having her back. All right. That was great. That was great. And I see we have some more of our influencers in the comment section. Let's see. Well, big sister said, very good show. Thanks, Jamir and Kalia, for being amazing co-hosts. They definitely are. And then we have Q, say literacy gang. Okay. And then Ayana welcomed her sister to the literacy gang. All right. Well, this has been wonderful. You guys, like I said, it's really no point for us to be here. You know, I don't know why we're here, Rodney. I don't know. But did you, young lady and gentlemen, have anything that you guys wanted to express, anything on your mind or anything you want to say before you get out of here?
Just wanted to thank you guys for the opportunity once again. It's a pleasure being a part of the virtual village, and it's a pleasure being an influencer. And I just can't wait to just continue working.
Well, he took all the words right out of my mouth, but I would just like to say thank you, and I appreciate you guys for being so welcoming and so encouraging for us, so that we can grow and become better. I just thank you guys.
Well, we thank you for all that you all are contributing at such a young age, and you guys make this whole experience wonderful. And so many people, it's not just us. You got a lot of love coming from everywhere. There's a village behind you, and I just want to let everybody else out there know it just keeps getting better with them. They're just gonna keep amazing you, because every conversation I have with him, I'm like, when Jamir said the bar, he's telling the truth. He is telling the truth. So you all are the best. Y'all are naturals at this. And Mr. Jordan, did you want to take us out this evening? this Friday?
Meaning having the final word?
Meaning that.
Okay. Well, I just want to thank the Literacy Gang for hanging in there. Thank the influencers for, once again, like you just said, raising the bar, the topics that you all have raised, the passion that you bring, the commitment that you have brought to this virtual village, and in your roles as influencers is far beyond anything that Ms. Starr and I ever thought would be possible. And so we're just, you all are the inspiration. And then while we tease about why we are here, we are here because you inspire us and you bring us joy and you bring the whole community hope for the next generation and what it is to come. So just keep up the good work. Hang in there. We're here to support you. And no matter whether it's through this COVID-19, through the rest of this high school year, or even as you go off to college, you always have a home. Right.
Your life. It's a game for life.
That's right. That's right.
All right. Well, everybody have a great evening and a wonderful, wonderful, safe weekend.
Look, mommy, community in action. But oh my, let us down to that. Look, daddy, there's a book for me too. But oh my, let us down to that. Creative, affirming, and culture for me too. Look, granny, let us down to that. Look, granny, let us down to that. Look, granny, let us down to that. Learning, exploring my history, you see. Look, mommy, let us down to that. We confident, we practice, and develop influency. Look, daddy, let us down to that. Families, they bonding, they representing me. Look, granny, let us down to that. Look, I'm here, let us down to that. Nice, I see, let us down to that.
So reliable, culturally relevant. Sit back and listen to the wisdom while we represent. So reliable, culturally relevant. Readers to leaders, they hold it down where they have to sit. So reliable, culturally relevant. Sit back and listen to the wisdom while you represent. So reliable, culturally relevant. Readers to leaders, they hold it down, yeah, they have a sit.
Look, mommy, community in action. Well, oh my, let us down to that. Look, daddy, there's a book for me too. Well, oh my, let us down to that. Creative, affirming, culture for me too. Look,